Want to hear about failure, real failure? Let me give you the truth. I was almost $1 billion in personal debt, not company debt, personal. $900 million. People thought I was done. The newspapers ran with it. The TV clowns laughed. The banks, my so-called partners, suddenly vanished. And the elite, they loved it. They couldn't wait to stick a fork in me. Trump is finished, they said over and over again. But here's the difference. I didn't fold. I didn't run. I didn't cry like a little baby begging for help. I got to work. I sharpened my mindset like a weapon. That's what winners do. And believe me, I never stopped thinking like a winner. I was under attack from every angle. People I trusted turned their backs. My name was being dragged through every gutter in Manhattan. But I knew something they didn't. I knew that I had the will. I had the fire. I had the fight. Let me tell you, nobody saves you. Not your family, not your friends, not the banks. You save yourself. That's how it works in the real world. I had to walk into rooms full of people who thought I was a clown and still act like the king. I didn't get soft. I didn't lower my head. I doubled down. That's why I came back. That's why Trump never stays down, because I believed in one thing, me. I remember selling the trunk, Princess, my beautiful yacht. I remember watching people smirk when I did it. They thought I was desperate. They thought it was over. But they didn't see the strategy. Winners make sacrifices to survive the storm. Losers hold on to shiny toys while their foundation collapses. That's a fact. I sold what I didn't need and kept what mattered. My name, my reputation, my mind. And I rebuilt. Quietly, strategically, powerfully. And when I came back bigger than ever. People don't understand what it means to get hit hard and keep moving. They say they do, but most of them fold when the first punch lands. I got hit with everything, and I didn't just take it, I smiled through it. Because I knew the comeback was coming. You don't bet against someone who refuses to quit. You don't bet against a savage mindset. I outworked everyone. I outnegotiated every banker. I turned every no into a deal. I knew that I was still the biggest name in real estate. And I made sure they remembered that. I made damn sure. You see, failure isn't the end. Failure is a filter. It separates the talkers from the doers. Everyone wants success until it gets ugly, until it gets bloody. But I live for that. I thrive in chaos. You throw me into a fire, I build a tower with the ashes. That's the Trump way. That's what I've always done. That's why you're still talking about me decades later. Because I don't back down. Because I don't disappear when things get tough. I rise. People love to talk about success like it's supposed to be pretty. It's not. It's brutal. It's violent. It's exhausting. And it's worth every second. You think I cared what the New York Times wrote? You think I cried over their pathetic editorials? Please. While they were whining, I was rebuilding. While they were mocking, I was planning. While they were writing about my fall, I was already engineering my rise. That's what winners do. We play chess while they're playing checkers. Let me tell you something important. The world is not fair. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're sad. It doesn't care if you tried your best. The world rewards results. That's it. You either produce or you get crushed. That's how business works. That's how life works. I learned it the hard way, and I'm thankful for it, because once you stop expecting life to be easy, you become dangerous. Once you stop crying and start creating, you become unstoppable. Most of you are waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for the right time. That's loser talk. That's why you're stuck. That's why you keep watching other people win, while you scroll through your phone pretending you're grinding. I didn't wait. I moved. I acted, even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. You think I had time to cry over my problems? No, I had deals to close. I had people to prove wrong. I had a legacy to protect. Winners don't pause. I rebuilt empire with a target on my back. They wanted me gone. They wanted me erased. But I made myself too big to cancel, too loud to ignore, too valuable to destroy. Because I understood branding. I understood power. I knew how to turn pain into positioning. That's what I did. with my comeback. And that's what you're going to have to do with your life if you ever want to win big. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying this was easy. I'm saying it was necessary. I'm saying if you want to reach the top, you better be ready to bleed for it. You better be ready to look failure in the eye and say, not today. You better be ready to walk alone, stand tall, and act like a damn leader, even when your world is falling apart, because that's what it takes. That's what I did, and that's why I win. Most people think the journey is about skill or talent. It's not. It's about nerve. It's about grit. It's about showing up when everyone's counting you out. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have guts, you lose. You sit on the sidelines with the rest of the excuse makers, and then you blame everyone but yourself. Pathetic, weak. I don't respect that. I respect courage. I respect audacity. I respect those who take hits and don't break. And let me say this. You can learn all the business tricks in the world. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, hire every coach. But if you don't develop the guts to stand back up when life smashes you in the mouth, you'll never be great. You'll never be dominant. You'll never lead. I didn't rise because of some magical formula. I rose because I refused to die. I refused to stop. I refused to believe the noise, and I kept going. So next time you hit a wall, ask yourself, are you acting like me or like the people who laughed at me? Are you planning your comeback or crying for comfort? Are you cutting the fat or clinging to your ego? You don't rebuild from weakness. You rebuild from clarity, from cold, hard, honest truth. That's how you take your power back. That's how you get dangerous again. I came back from the edge because I was willing to face reality. I was willing to own it. I didn't pretend. I didn't lie to myself. I looked in the mirror and I said, you either fight back now or you become a footnote. And I'll never be a footnote. I was born to dominate. And so are you. If you'd stop acting scared of your own potential. You want to know the difference between winners and losers? It's not money. It's not connections. It's not some Ivy League diploma that says, look at me, I'm smart. No. The real difference is mindset. That's the word. Mindset. Winners think differently. We wake up differently. We breathe differently. We operate like machines focused on domination, not survival. And let me tell you, I didn't come this far by being normal. I came this far by being obsessed. Obsessed with building, obsessed with proving everybody wrong. That obsession rewired my brain. It made me dangerous. It made me unstoppable. That's what it takes. If you don't have that inner fire, if you're not waking up with something to prove, then guess what? You've already lost. Those people are programmed to lose. They've been fed garbage since day one. Teachers, friends, parents, media, they all say the same weak nonsense. Take it easy, be realistic, play it safe. They worship comfort. They preach balance. Let me be clear. I don't believe in balance. I believe in greatness. I believe in going all in. The world doesn't reward average, it forgets average. If you're not exceptional, you're invisible. And I was never invisible. Even when I had nothing, I carried myself like a king because I knew who I was, I knew what I wanted, and I refused to think small. That's the mindset you need if you want to win big. You have to kill the small thoughts, kill the fear, kill the hesitation. You want to stay poor? Think like everybody else. You want to stay weak? Keep avoiding discomfort. You want to stay broke and bitter? Keep waiting for someone to give you permission. But if you want power, if you want real, undeniable, world-shaking power, you've got to flip the switch. You've got to become dangerous. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about being unshakable, unapologetic about your mission. That's what I became. I didn't ask the world to like me. I demanded that it respect me. You don't get that by playing nice. You get it by being willing to outwork, outthink, and outlast every soft clown who's more worried about likes than legacy. Look, I know what they say about me. Trump's arrogant, Trump's aggressive, Trump's too much. You're damn right I am. And that's why I win. That's why I broke every rule they worship. and still came out on top. Because I never wanted to be liked. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to be remembered. If you're still chasing approval, you're not ready to lead. If you're still afraid of judgment, you're not ready to dominate. I've been booed, cursed, sued, attacked, and I'm still standing, still building, still winning. You know why? Because I never let weak minds shape my mission. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is check their phone. Pathetic. They scroll, they compare, they complain. By the time they brush their teeth, they've already lost the day. Not me. I wake up thinking about leverage. I wake up thinking about the next move. I wake up with one question: how do I win today? That's it. That's the mindset. Winners don't start the day slow. We hit the ground running. We don't need motivation. We are motivation. And if you're serious about your life, you need to stop acting like a spectator and start acting like a threat. Let me tell you something powerful. The mind is the strongest weapon on the planet, and most people never learn how to use it. They fill it with fear, with excuses, with junk, and then they wonder why their life looks like a dumpster fire. It starts in your head, always. You train your mind or you lose by default. Every time I faced a wall, I trained my brain to say one thing: go through it, no hesitation, no crying, just execution. That's how I built buildings. That's how I ran campaigns. That's how I crushed obstacles that would destroy normal people. I controlled the narrative in my head, and then I controlled the world outside it. When I was a kid, I didn't dream about being rich. I expected it. I saw opportunity everywhere. While the other kids were playing games, I was learning leverage. I was studying power. I was analyzing strength. That doesn't make me weird. That makes me focused. And if you want to get out of your current situation, whatever it is, you need that level of intensity. You need to stop chasing dopamine and start chasing Read that again. You think life's going to hand you success because you're a good person? Wake up. You think posting a quote on Instagram makes you a hustler? Please. You think watching a video like this is enough to change your life? It's not. You need to kill the weak version of yourself and replace it with someone who refuses to stay average. That takes work. That takes obsession. That takes a mindset built for war. And trust me, I've been at war my entire life. I'm built for it. You know how I became unbreakable? I surrounded myself with pressure. I welcomed it. I leaned into it. While others avoided conflict, I walked right into it. I got stronger every time they tried to break me. The lawsuits, the bankruptcies, the media hits, the personal attacks, they made me sharper, they made me faster, they made me more focused. And that's the secret nobody wants to tell you. Pressure is the gift. Resistance is the reward. You don't grow in peace, you grow in battle. So stop running from stress. Use it, channel it, dominate with it. The biggest shift you can make in life is this: stop reacting, start dictating. Control the frame, control the room, control the deal. That's what I do, that's what I've always done. And that's what you need to start doing. Nobody respects someone who flinches. Nobody follows someone who's unsure. Be certain even when you're not. Be decisive even if it scares you. Confidence is a habit, and I mastered it by doing the hard things over and over until fear got tired of trying. Let me give it to you straight. You want to elevate your life? You have to kill the loser inside of you. The one that wants to sleep in. The one that wants to wait. The one that makes excuses and blames everybody else. You need to bury that version of yourself today, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because if you don't, he'll bury your dreams first. That's how it works. It's a fight between the you that wants comfort and the you that wants a crown. Pick a side. When I look in the mirror, I don't see a man who got lucky. I see a man who outlasted every snake, every critic, every coward who said he'll never make it. I don't care what they think. I don't need their applause because I've got something they'll never have: dominance, and I earned it. Through work, through risk, through focus, through mindset, And that's what I'm giving you right now. A mirror, a challenge, a wake-up call. Because deep down, you know you've been playing small. You know you've been running from your greatness. And if you're finally ready to stop, then let's go. No more talking, no more wishing, no more fake hustle. Decide who you are. Decide what you want. And build the damn mindset to go get it. Not next month, not next year, now. Because guess what? Winners act, losers wait. And the clock is ticking. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't move, if you don't act, you're still a loser. That's the truth. Strategy beats motivation every time. I've seen thousands of people fired up with dreams, talking big, making noise, but where are they now? Broke, forgotten. Why? Because they didn't know how to act. They didn't know how to play the game. I did. I always did. And that's why I win. Let me be clear. Winning isn't luck. Winning is a product of strategy, timing, and ruthless execution. You don't wait for chances, you create them. You don't hope the doors open. You kick them down and build your own building if they don't. When I built Trump Tower, people said, you can't get the air rights, you can't get the zoning, you can't build something that tall on Fifth Avenue. They told me it was too risky. They said, Trump, you're aiming too high. And you know what I said? I said, good. I want high. I want the biggest, the boldest. I don't play for second place. I hired the best people. I worked around the clock. I negotiated with the city like it was life or death. And I didn't compromise my vision. That tower became the symbol of power in New York because I had a vision and a strategy to match. Not a wish, a plan. That's what you're missing. You've got dreams with no direction, energy with no structure. That's a recipe for disaster. Most of you want success, but you don't even know what the hell that looks like. You haven't studied the field. You haven't learned the players. You haven't figured out where the leverage is. That's why you're stuck. That's why you're frustrated. Strategy is about leverage. It's about using every inch of the board to gain control. In real estate, I never just looked at a building. I looked at the land, the air above it, the tax code, the politics, the weak spots in the market. I studied every angle. And then I struck like a lion. You think being aggressive is enough? It's not. You've got to be calculated. Precision wins battles. That's how I flipped bankruptcy into a comeback. I didn't swing wildly. I prioritized. I negotiated like a killer. I cut deals that scared people. I used pressure to my advantage. I knew exactly what I could lose and what I needed to gain. That's what winners do. We analyze, we position, we pounce. Every move is measured. Every action has a purpose. And if it doesn't, we don't waste time on it. I remember buying 40 Wall Street. The building was undervalued. People thought it was too old, too far gone. But I saw the opportunity. I saw the location, the bones, the potential. I bought it cheap, I renovated it smart, and I turned it into one of the greatest commercial successes in Manhattan. That's what vision and action combined look like. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Focused, intentionally, and never emotionally. Emotions are for weak players. Strategy is for winners. Let me tell you something most people won't admit. Most of your competition is lazy and stupid. That's your advantage. Most people don't want to work. Most people don't want to learn. Most people don't want to think. They want shortcuts. And they want to be spoon-fed success like it's on a menu. That's why it's so easy to win when you're serious. I walk into a room and I already know who's soft. I can smell it. I can see it in their eyes. You want to beat these people? Start doing what they won't. Study when they scroll. Execute while they sleep. Discipline destroys competition every time. I built a brand that shook the world. Trump became a symbol. Gold, glass, luxury, power. That didn't happen by accident. That was branding on steroids. That was positioning. I didn't want to be another guy with buildings. I wanted to be the name, the brand, the standard. So every detail mattered. The signs, the interiors, the marketing, the deals, everything screamed one word: power. That's how you dominate an industry. You don't blend in, you don't play safe, You create a presence so strong, they can't ignore you. You watching this right now? You've got skills. I know you do, but you're not packaging them. You're not presenting them. You're not branding yourself like someone who deserves to be taken seriously. That's why they overlook you. That's why they pass on you. You've got the talent of a king and the mindset of a peasant. It's time to flip the script, build the brand, build the strategy, build the machine that works when you're asleep. That's how empires are made. When I hosted The Apprentice, it wasn't just a show. It was a masterclass in power. Millions of people watched me make decisions under pressure, watched how I handled deals, conflict, performance. I used that platform to reinforce the Trump brand worldwide. That was strategy. While others were doing reality shows for laughs, I used mine to show leadership, authority, command, and I made money doing it. That's how you multiply impact, by thinking 2, 3, 10 steps ahead. While they're chasing likes, I'm building legacy. And let's not forget 2016. Everyone laughed, Trump's running for president. What a joke. The media mocked me, the politicians dismissed me, the experts said I had no shot. You know what I did? I built the most disruptive, unstoppable political machine in modern history. I didn't follow their playbook, I burned it. I controlled the headlines, I dominated the stage, I spoke directly to the people while they were still begging donors for scraps. I flipped the game on its head because I understood attention, momentum, and strategy better than anyone else in the arena. So ask yourself, what game are you trying to win? And do you even know the rules? Do you know the battlefield? Do you know where the leverage is hiding? Or are you just throwing effort at the wall and praying something sticks? If you don't know your opponent, your strengths, your advantages, you're not in the game. You're in a fantasy. Get real, get sharp, get strategic. That's how you climb out of average and into domination.